What is good, YouTube? It's John here. I'm going to do a deck profile on, you guessed it if you read the title, Gravekeepers. I will also give you a couple options that you can change cards for in here. At the end of it, I don't suggest anyone takes the exact idea that I do. I like you guys to get creative with the stuff you have, but this is just a reference of how I like to build my decks and how I come up with certain texts and everything like that. So yeah, I'll explain a little bit about the deck as I go along. Keep in mind that I only have 38 cards right now with me. It will be exactly a 40 card deck when I get the other 2 cards in the mail, but when I come to the point where I will have them cards, I'll explain them to you right now just so you know exactly what I'm playing. So yeah, let's go with it. 3 Gravekeepers commanded. Have to run 3. I've seen a couple people run 2. I don't suggest doing that. I just don't think it's as consistent. I've tried to, just to add with other cards in there. But 3, I figured out it was just better that way. 3, Gravekeeper's Recruiter. Have to run 3. I did 2 for a while, wishing I had a 3rd one at all times, especially since like he searches himself more often than anything else. And on top of that, if you don't need a recruiter and you set him, people are going to think it's a spy and go, oh, it's a spy. You know, kill it with anything. Like, they'll just dark hole or something like that. I'm like, haha, you don't get your spy's effect. And you go, oh, no, it's a recruiter. Add whatever I need for the next turn to my hand. So it's kind of entertaining to do that. Then, of course, you run your 3 spy. A way to get around it, some people don't really understand it, is if you don't have a Necro Valley or a Commandant in your hand, you can get it from Spy's effect. Set Spy, when they hit Spy, sometimes they'll take a couple hundred, sometimes they won't, doesn't matter. Search your Recruiter, and then a Recruiter searches Commandant, adds it to your hand. So yeah, a great way to get it, just that little 3 card combo, and then you use that in your next turn. Not that hard, it's actually a good idea, works great. 2 Gravekeeper's Descendant. I've noticed a lot of people running 3. I personally don't like 3 just because I tech a certain card, and I'll get to that in a minute. So 2 works great for me. 1, Gravekeeper's Night Assailant. I don't suggest playing any more than 1. You don't need to. It's not really that important of a card, but it's great to have when you need it. It's searchable off of Recruiter, and you can summon it off of Spy. Its attack and defense are both 15, so it works great in a tight spot, especially since every big monster right now is usually around 2,000 or less defense. So you can always attack, switch it to defense, and then switch, then attack over it or whatever. So yeah, it's really cool. 1 Malefic Stardust Dragon. A lot of people run 2. I don't suggest running 2. Like, I personally don't like it. I don't really say I don't suggest it. Sorry, guys. But I don't like running 2. Just because I like to have a Malefic Cyber End Dragon, which is the one I'm waiting on in the mail. So that would be one of the 2 cards I'm missing right now. But yeah, I like to run 1 Stardust Dragon, 1 Cyber End Dragon. Just because of the fact, when people get over this, it's a hard thing to get around after a while, because I don't always, like, this is usually like a last resort to run over something big, or if they don't have anything, and just attack them for directly. Excuse me. Oh, wow, that soda's really killing me right now. But yeah, Malefic Stardust Dragon at 1, Cyber End Dragon at the other, just because the beat stick. The 4,000 attack is amazing, and it hurts your opponent really badly. So yeah. Oh, and a lot of people say it's a tech. I don't call it a tech. I don't like it when people do, just because every Gravekeeper deck plays it. So it's not really a tech. It's more of a necessity. I play the Thunder King Ryo. He's at 1 now. That's the downfall about it. But when you open him and Necro Valley, it crushes your opponent. I win so many games opening those 2 cards together. I wish he was at 2, especially this format. It would hurt so much more, but it doesn't. So yeah, that is a tech. That's my tech for the deck right now. So yeah. Spells. 3 Necro Valley. Have to play 3 Necro Valley. It's the whole point of this deck. If you don't, you're an idiot. Gravekeeper Steel, I don't know how you pronounce it, but that's how I say it, Stel. I run it at 2 just because it allows me to add the 12 or 13 Gravekeeper monsters that I have in my graveyard to my hand, especially with Necrovalley in the field. So it just allows me to recycle things. And if you open it up with Royal Tribute, like you get your Necrovalley out and have a Stell in hand and Royal Tribute for whatever, it crushes your opponent, then you add 2 of the most important monsters that you had back to your hand, and it's a downfall from there for them. 1 Royal Tribute, because it's at 1 now. I was so depressed when I saw that. I wish it was back at 2. I'd play 2, with all my heart and everything like that. So yeah, Book of Moon, Dark Hole. Another tech I use is Forbidden Lance. You can also run Book of Wisdom, or Spell Book of Wisdom. What I side in this deck right here, Book of Wisdom has a hard time getting used by it. Just because I side Zombie World, so everything becomes a zombie, and you have to target a spellcaster. So I like Lance. I can target my opponent or mine, get over a couple really big monsters, not worry about it so much, and it just works better for me personally. You can always do your Spellbook of Wisdom or something else. So yeah, 3 MSTs, very heavy back row format. I suggest always running 3. I actually run 3 in every deck that I've ever played. I just, as long as MST is not limited or semi-limited, I will always play 3. So yeah. 3 Pot of Duality adds so much consistency to this deck, especially since I'll have dead draws, and I'll draw into a Pot of Duality, and then I'll be like, oh sweet, I can finally look through this a little bit. Flip the top 3 over, and I'll find something that I needed the whole time. I'm sitting here going, oh, that's awesome. So Pot of Duality has to be run at 3. I've tried 2 and an Allure. I don't like Allure too much because I'm sending things RFG from my hand. I don't really like that. I like to have everything in my grave and recyclable. So yeah, Pot of Duality 3, that's my thing. Of course, your traps now, 1-ofs, since they're all at 1 now. Torrential Tribute, Compulsory, Evacuation Device, Solemn Warning, and Bottomless Trap Hole. All of those are at 1, so I play 1 of each, obviously. Mirror Force 2. I love Mirror Force, this format. Especially since everyone swarms the field and goes, okay, well, attack for game, and you go Mirror Force, and they're like, bullshit, I'm done. So I win games because of that, and it just hurts your opponent. 2 Dimensional Prison. I love this just because it doesn't destroy a monster and it removes it from play. So I get around so many certain things because everyone has things where it's like, oh, it cannot be destroyed by a card effect. And you're like, okay, fine, deprison, just remove it from game and call it a day and pass your turn so I can go and kick your ass. So 2 deprisons, awesome. People don't really expect it too much, so yeah. I also run 2 Fiendish Chain. I don't have the second one yet. That's the other card that I'm waiting on in the mail. So I will have 2 Fiendish Chains. Oh, what the hell is in my throat? That's what she said. But yeah, 2 Fiendish Chains, absolutely amazing. And that is the 40 cards right now that I have in this, that will be complete for a 40 card deck. A couple cards I've been testing. Actually, I've been thinking about doing Maxi in this deck as a 1-of for a 41st card. Just because of the fact that I like having Maxi. I really do. I save myself from this. Like if the last deck I had, I ran 2 of these and 3 Veiler just because of how I wanted to start it and test things. And every time someone pushed through a Maxi, I would win the next turn. So Maxi for me is like it makes your opponent think really hard before they try to swarm the field and get past everything. So yeah, I like it. I might actually put it as a 41st card. I'm not sure yet. Still got to test it. But 40 to 41 cards doesn't really make a whole difference in how it plays, so I might just do that. Siding material is awesome. Like I said, you can play it or side it. I will probably play 1 and side 1 depending on how the rest of the format starts to play out. I like to side something like Starlight Road. If you don't have Starlight Road, the Huge Revolution is over. What is the other? There's another card that's like that. So yeah, I like it. I would side something like this just because of the fact that I play Mirror Force. I'm pretty sure other people play Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, Dark Hole, and there's a couple other card effects like the Malevolent something where you attack your opponent and they activate it and blow up all the cards in the field like a Heavy Storm, but just a trap card from them. So this Starlight Road, absolutely amazing. You should side something like that. If you don't like Cyber End Dragon or you don't have the Malefic Cyber End Dragon, play a second Stardust. Personally, I like to have one of each, but if you don't have it, I suggest playing two. It's easier to deal with, and it's not. I don't even really know how to explain it, but you either want two Malefic Stardust or you want one of each of those things. So yeah, that's it. I said earlier, I like Lance just because what I side really screws with Spellbook of Wisdom. So if you don't like Lance, or you don't need to run anything that really affects the type that they are, Spellbook of Wisdom is absolutely amazing for this deck because I think everything in it is a spellbook. I'm sorry, not a spellbook, a spellcaster, and it has to target a spellcaster. So I like it. Mind Control. I've been testing it. I did like it. I don't play it just because I'm so limited on the cards that I can use in this deck. Not because it's not useful. Like I played it in a couple other versions I had, and I would get first or second place at locals at all times, and that was with maining this. I love this. It's a great card. Especially if you're pushing for game and your opponent sets a monster, you don't know what it is. It could really destroy you, or it might not. But you don't want to worry about it, so you just mind control it. And I usually will save this for like last minute stuff. I don't really do anything with it besides that. Especially since everyone's playing level 3 and 4s, you can just mind control it, check it out, and then exceed with it, and it's not that big of a deal then. But yeah, mind control is a great card to use if you don't have Book of Moon or anything else like that. But yeah, I mean, I played both the Book of Moon and Mind Control for a while, so it's a great card. Try it out, see if you like it. Lure of Darkness. I think I explained it earlier that you can do this instead of a Pot of Duality. For a while, I didn't like Pot of Duality because I would just search into another one, and I can only use one per turn. So I did 2 pots and then 1 Allure. And it worked out really well. It's just I seem to like more of not having a card from my hand removed from game. And especially, like, I would rather top deck the Pot of Duality instead of this. It's very situational. You always, if you play this, you're going to want to have a dark monster in your hand. And I think all the Gravekeepers are dark except for Commandant. I think he's an Earth. If I remember correctly. I'm not going to look, doesn't matter. But yeah, you can always put this in instead of 3 duality. Do 2 duality in this, and it works great. That's also an option that you have. There's like, I forget what the card is, like Black Horn or something. But it stops a special summon, and there's like a certain type of special summon that it stops. And I've been talking to people about it. I've been trying to get a hold of one to test it. But unfortunately, the people that do have them are playing them, and I can't get them, so yeah. I'm not sure about the ruling on that either. I'd have to look up on what special summons they can and can't negate. So yeah, other than that, that is the deck. I don't have the side or extra done because it's still being worked on. So yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to comment. I always like to try out some new cards in here to see what works better. If you like anything in this, please feel free to like the video. Likes always help. Comment on it. Subscribe if you want to see more. Feel free to ask me about certain decks that you want to see later on. If I can't build them, I'm sure one of my friends can, and he will do a deck profile. on it for you guys. So yeah, comment, rate, subscribe, and have fun. I guess it's a card game, so don't get too stressed about anything. You know, you win some, you lose some, or you lose a lot and you win none. So that doesn't matter. It's a card game. Do it to have fun. Don't get stressed out, and enjoy life. Till next time. Peace.